Hi sisters, welcome to Embroidery 101. If you're wondering what exactly is embroidery, look no further, this video will give you all the information you need. And if you're watching this video and you're curious about the definition of embroidery, I'm not going to give you that information. There is something called the internet that many people have access to in 2020, so you can go look it up. Alright, let's start with the basics. You only really need 3 materials. Let's start with the embroidery hoop, freeze frame. Now these all vary in size and it all depends on what you actually want to do, but a smaller one is much more easier to handle, so I recommend that for beginners. And please get this straight, do not confuse the embroidery hoop with a basketball hoop. I know a lot of people who often can't tell the difference between the two, but there is a clear, stark contrast. There is a clear disparity between the both of them. Alright, next item on the list is the embroidery needle. Freeze frame. This isn't your ordinary needle because it has a much sharper tip and a larger eye. Now when we say larger eye, we don't mean the human eye, okay? We're talking about the hole in the needle, alright? And before you guys try to get me into a lawsuit, please be responsible and don't be stupid. And now that I said that disclaimer, you guys cannot hold me responsible. So let's move on to the final item. And that would be the embroidery floss. Freeze frame. Now let's not get this confused with dental floss. I know a lot of people like to confuse this, but dental floss is for your interstitial teeth. Now the embroidery floss is made up of 6 individual strands that can be separated. Now all these different items will accumulate to about $5 to $10 at your local craft store. So not much more expensive than your average Starbucks drink. And now that we got that out of the way, sit back, relax with that fabric, and let's get to the good stuff. So the first thing you want to do is to take that floss and start separating it into individual strands. Now, the amount of individual strands all really depends on whether you want a thicker design or a thinner design. As for our case, we're just going to separate it into 2, which means we're going to be starting with 3 individual strands, which is a good amount to start with. So go ahead and put your floss through the needle eye and then tie a knot at the very end. But make sure that the knot is a little thicker than the needle so that it doesn't go through the fabric. And believe me when I say that you don't want it going through the fabric. Alright kids, this is why we wear condoms. So open apart your hoop and take the inner hoop and then put your desired fabric over that inner hoop. And then you will put the outer hoop over the inner hoop. Ooh, now isn't that satisfying? Now make sure that the screw is facing your dominant hand so that it'll be easier to loosen and tighten. And also make sure that fabric is pulled nice and tightly. Okay, so what you're about to see right now is something called a chain stitch. To start, just poke your needle through the back of the fabric and pull. Go about 1/4 of an inch to the side you are working towards. Now you're going to go back in the midway of your previous stitch. Finer fabrics will work best for shorter stitches, while more thicker fabrics might need longer stitches. Pull and then once again go 1/4 of an inch to your left. Continue this for your desired design. A chain stitch is one of the stronger stitches, which is great for outlining designs or filling in large spaces. And that's pretty much the basics on how to embroider. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell for notifications. And also follow our Instagram account at Penguin Broadcasting. Until next time, this has been Embroidery 101.